Good morning, everybody, and welcome back for a little post-narrated battle video here. This was obviously while I was making the new vehicle video for the Chrysanthemum missile system. So we start out on the newly redone Sinai with a lot more rocks and some bushes for whatever reason. I don't know, whatever. So I had the new version of the map a couple times. This was the first time I'd had it from this side spawn. So I know that this is a pretty easy side of the map where you can get some good shots on people trying to make it into that first little cut valley there at B1 and C1. So that's where I'm trying to get up to and get a good look at them. And lo and behold, spot somebody from back here. Can see a shape moving and trying to move up here, get into position on them. This part of the battle, obviously, you can see with the live comms from the Chrysanthema video. But anyway, get it lined up with the commander's binoculars and then pour some missiles into him. Pretty good hit on him. Definitely stopped him from moving. Back off just to make sure he can't counterfire at me while we reload here. Mark the map for the team just in case I get taken out by somebody else, just to make sure this guy doesn't escape. Get the missiles reloaded, pull forward, and put a couple more shots into him. And that'll finish him off. Alright, so we got one missile left. Backing off here to get cover behind the rock again and wait to spot any more targets. And we see this guy making a run onto Bravo. Now, because of the scrub brush here, I have to time my shot, and I fired just a half second too late, unfortunately. And then right as I'm trying to drive forward to get behind the cover of the rocks again, the transmission doesn't switch very quickly from reverse to forward. And I get picked off by this A1A1L44, who I'm sure saw me in thermals anyway. Besides the fact that I just launched a missile. So my BMP-3 and my BMP-2M are vehicles that I enjoy driving, and they're both fairly close to finishing off spading out. So in the interest of getting those juicy modification tier completion bonuses for extra RP towards whatever vehicle it is that I'm researching, I'm driving those out. So moving forward again, trying to get up to Bravo because I know there's a heavy enemy presence there. Unfortunately, climbing the hill is not the fastest thing in the world that you can do here, especially if you have to steer at all whatsoever going up a hill. It takes so much of your speed down. So I'm trying to get to my squad, or teammate here, not squad mate, but my teammate here who's in this smoke. Scout the guy that's marked in that smoke. I could see him on the mini-map. He gets taken out a second later, and I'm trying to get in and help my other teammate over here off to the right, who's had an enemy right on top of him, but apparently he took it out. And then as we come pulling up into the Bravo point here, what do we see? We see a Rodkampf on the camping hill. Deal with him quickly. Move into Bravo and start taking it back. Scout and fire away at this Bagel Panzer. Now here is why you scout something that you have got a great shot on, because you don't always kill it. And at least now he's scouted and he'll be marked on the map longer than simply if I had hit him. So if you've got the ability to scout something, I suggest you do it. Now this capture felt like it took an eternity. Especially when the artillery barrages started falling, which they did. Get my artillery ready to fire at the Bagel Panzer, who hasn't been touched by anybody because we don't have anybody over there. Fire the artillery on him, and then so once the smoke finally clears from all the artillery barrages coming down, there we go, there's an assist on the Bagel Panzer. Now you'll notice some marks on the mini-map of both an enemy up here. Oh, they're okay. Hang on. Oh, never mind. Was trying to get to that T-72 to help him repair, but he got taken out within the smoke before I could get to him. I was on my way to help him. And then my squad mate here lights up some kind of a light vehicle. I try to get a good look at it. It's presumably another Bagel Panzer. I didn't get a good view on it, so I back off too. Enemy team is taking Charlie, and then they got taken out. And now I see somebody shoot from over the ridgeline up here, and I'm going to get a good mark on them with my scouting. There we go. Scout where the shot came from, and now I'm moving to try and flank him around to the left on the edge of this little ridgeline here. Because wherever he is, he's focused on our sniper camping ridgeline, so I'm going to try and come around, hit him from behind on the right here, and take him out, and then move in and try to take Charlie. Now you can see some tracers coming up from up here, so now I know there's SPA that I've got to deal with because it can kill me, so I've got to flank farther to the left to take him out, and as I come around the rocks to make a run-in on this Gepard up here, I get hit from behind by the Bagel Panzer, and all I could really do was just barely get him scouted before I got taken out. Sometimes you just can't find the edge of the enemy line because there's a new player and a new player and a new player and a new player every time. So, back in the BMP-2M we go. I'm still working on getting artillery for this thing, so that I do like driving it. Now, we know that Bagel Panzer is making the move onto Bravo after he took me out, so since I don't have artillery, I'm trying to call for the team to put some artillery onto B. And we've got two teammates within pretty close distance of the cap, and a third one who just got taken out, but the two that are within distance of the cap never move on it. They just let it get taken. I don't know if they fired artillery or if they just weren't paying attention to the mini-map or what. I don't know. Anyway, the point is they just let Bravo get taken without challenging it, and sometimes that happens.
Attention to the map. Enemy forces have captured a zone. We don't have the advantage anymore.
So we come around the corner here, I get a good scout on somebody. I can't quite see that it's behind the Bagel Panzer wreckage, so fired off all four of my missiles, backed off to reload, and then and then realize what's happening is that it's a C2A1 behind the dead Bagel Panzer when it gets taken out. That's the only trouble with thermals, is there's no good way to tell apart a dead vehicle from a live vehicle when you're looking at them in thermals. So since wrecked vehicles don't look exceptionally different from live vehicles unless the turret comes completely off. Now, looking up here as we're finishing capturing Bravo, you can see that there is some sort of a bomber coming in at high altitude, which means it's definitely a bomber. So I get to the edge of the cap, get the cap, and get the hell out of Dodge, and then tell the team, yo boys, time to bail, get out of B. And I'm trying to just get around this oil container here, the storage tank, to just protect myself from the blast of that bomb coming in. My squad mate did the same thing here, getting the heck out of the way because he knew a bomb was coming. And unfortunately our ZSU-23-4 was not so aware or not so lucky. A Gepard takes out my squad mate. I can see a couple of SPA get marked on the mini-map here as I'm trying to figure out where the heck they came from. Can't see them in the thermals there. So I'm coming around the corner to see what's going on with Bravo. Make sure that we protect and defend it here. And then the enemy team starts taking it, so better go stop it. Finish him off, and then he fired off some smoke, so I will take advantage of that Leopard's smoke screen and go retake Bravo myself. Made it back into the cap in my same old spot and get taken out by a Leopard A1A1 that probably could see me through the edge of the smoke, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So, back in the Tu-14T we go with a 3,000 kilogram bomb. And I recognize pretty early here that if I continue the direction I'm going, I'm going to have no good bomb drop on Bravo, so we swing it out to the left to come in from the side of Bravo and get a bomb drop that will not be affected by that giant rock outcropping in the middle of the map.
Strategic zones.
So, lined up, coming in, I can see an enemy vehicle starting to fire at me there. I take a couple hits, drop a bomb on that tank that just fired, and luckily my aircraft stayed level long enough to get the bomb off. And there's a pair of leopards down. Good enough for now. Like I said, it was a war of attrition. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So then back to the T-72A we go, and this time I decided to change things up slightly and head over towards Charlie. I had apparently cleared out the enemy presence near Bravo, which let our team start taking the cap back. And naturally, before I can even get out of the spawn, I've got multiple G91 Nords being rocketed at me there, but luckily the guy missed with all three of them. So my team finishes up capturing Charlie before I got there, which is totally fine. I debated firing my artillery on my squad mate there, just for the sake of I didn't think he was going to survive the enemy medium tank that was right on top of him, and decided, well, I don't need to make it any harder than it already is for the poor guy, so I held off the RD to save for any other targets that would show up. And there's the fourth attempt with the Nord, and not only does he miss me, but he hits the ground, so good enough, and finally. So my squad mate, as far as I can tell, has got an enemy right inside the smoke there. Took a blind shot into where I suspect the enemy tank is there, just to see if I get a hit on him. And I'm trying to ride up now close enough to help him repair, because I haven't really been able to do much else in my T-72. Can't tell how much repair time he's got left until I get just a little bit closer up to him, and that's just in time to see that he's got no time left on his repair. So for the second time, I'm unable to get to a teammate and help him repair. Oh well, sometimes you're just too far away. So we know we've got a couple of enemies left here. It's a matter of how quickly can we get to where those enemies are and see if we can pick off a couple of extra final kills here. And take a hit in the engine. That sets me on fire right as I apparently got hit and then dragged just behind the rocks, protected from the CV-90105 that's camping behind their western spawn there. That's where I took the hit from, and that would be the end of the battle. I sat here and repaired for the rest of it, so I'll leave it up just for the sake of anyone who's interested in seeing how the battle ended, but there's no more activity that happens besides me sitting here and repairing. So I finally get my engine repaired, and I'm trying to move on the 90105 that had hit me and set me on fire. And by the time I can get around the rock, the battle's over, and that's that. So quite a slugfest this battle was, but it ended up okay. 5 kills, 2 captures, 3 assists, and against 4 deaths is a slight positive for our fair city. And that'll do for today. Thank you all very much for watching. Good luck to all of you out there at 9.3, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.